Hey, what's going on, tribe? It's Red again, just hitting you guys up with another video. If you're new to my channel, welcome. So guys, this video is about subliminal messages because I was watching a film, series the other night, and the subliminal messages in it were they're so obvious, innit? They're so obvious. So I thought, yeah, let me make a video on the subliminal messages, because yeah, when you wake up, become more conscious, yeah, they're literally everywhere, and they're basically in everything. So I thought, yeah, let me make a little video on it, yeah, to share the knowledge really, and I hope everyone's feeling somewhat alright during these crazy times anyway, because yeah, the energy has just been fucking wild. Yeah, it's kicking my ass, I'm not gonna lie, but we gotta ride it out anyway. Alright, so yeah, let's begin anyway. So yeah, when you become more conscious, aware of the Matrix 3D reality, you see the subliminal messages everywhere. They're literally everywhere. Like, let me just give you some examples anyway. Like in music, there's subliminal messages in music. That's why they're promoting a lot of negativity in the music, like a lot of drill artists and all this other shit. That's all getting promoted, when positive music is kind of, you don't really hear about positive music. Now and again you do, like say for instance like Bob Marley and that, when you're trying to share positive vibes, should I say, like they try to assassinate man, innit? So yeah, there's a lot of subliminal messages in the music and shit today. Like for instance, like the drill music, that's getting promoted a lot, and you're hearing a lot more murders going on, I think anyway. Like yeah, for me anyway, I'm just seeing it's getting just wild. Like even though there's killings and stuff a lot anyway, but yeah, it just seems to be more on the rise anyway. And yeah, some more subliminal things are in films. Say for instance, let me just throw you an example, like iRobot, should I say, yeah. They're basically saying, they're kind of giving you glimpses how they want the future to be, should I say. So like in iRobot, like obviously they're obviously made robots to kind of help humans, should I say, help humans. And if you guys don't know, Elon Musk has made the first like AI robot, and that's coming out next year. If you guys don't know about it, check it out. It's called the Elon bot. So there's a lot of subliminal messages in films. Like for instance, another one is like The Matrix. If you haven't seen The Matrix, check it out, because it's not actually a film, it's a documentary. When you wake up, you see the world totally different, and you see the Matrix for what it is. And another good film to check out is They Live? I think it's They Live. And it's basically about this guy's got these glasses, and when he takes them off, he just sees reality as normal people doing their day-to-day shit. And then when he puts the glasses on, he's seeing the world for what it actually really is, about control and manipulation and subliminal messages and other stuff, man. So that's films. But there's a lot more films out there. I was just throwing you some examples. And TV shows. Like a lot of TV shows kind of are pushing certain agendas and shit. So say for instance, I don't know, like let me just use another example, like fucking The Simpsons and shit. As you know, when you think, oh yeah, The Simpsons predicted this and they predicted that, no, it wasn't prediction. It's already been written, like by the producers and stuff. They're really high up, and they kind of know information that the public don't know about. And when they're putting them shows and TV show, the TV shows and films and the music out, it's got a certain agenda behind it. It's like programming, so you're already aware of what's going on, but you accept it. You just accept it and think it's okay, and it's the normal, but it's not the normal. So TV shows, and yeah, because I'm in like low vibration at the moment, I like to watch horror films. I don't know why. It's like, yeah, because I'm at low vibration, I like to watch low vibrational stuff until I pass out of it. But I was watching American Horror Stories. And what's actually happening in American Horror Stories is funny. They're actually introducing aliens. It's the newest season, and they're introducing aliens, and was explaining how basically how the government has done done like a deal with aliens basically, because their species is dying and all this other stuff, and so the government basically are doing a trade. So I'm not sure what the trade is. I think I don't know if it's human experiments or whatever, but they do a trade, and with the aliens, they give us technology, yeah? So if you haven't noticed in the last like 10 years, the technology has jumped severely. People probably think, yeah, it's fucking, oh yeah, it's bullshit and all that, but like, yeah, if you're awake, you fucking know what's going on. It's for the esoteric folk, this video anyway. Yeah, and it starts going in, talking about the reptiles, the reptilians and stuff, and he's talking about yeah, how their eyes change and all this, and I was like, right, that's interesting, because David Icke talks about it, and there's books about it, and there's other channels that talk about reptilians and stuff, how they control the world and shit. But then it's funny how they introduced it into like a series now, so I was like, oh, that's a bit interesting. And it's also in the They Live as well, about the reptilians and that. If you don't know, check them out. But there's very little information on there, so you got to take take bits and pieces and kind of merge it together. But yeah, and what was another thing? Yeah, and in the American Horror Stories, like I was talking about, they were saying about the yeah, because they're going into like that. Yeah, we're going into like an alien time in general, because like technology and like a lot of things are introducing aliens more, if you haven't noticed and shit. And it's like, yeah, it's like, if you know, they're fucking aliens have been around for fucking years. Like people getting abducted in the fucking 80s and shit, so they're not new, but they try to cover shit up. Oh yeah, people seen flying shit in the sky, man. It's like, it's not new, like, but people that fucking are brainwashed and asleep and that probably think, oh yeah, no, aliens ain't real, and it's like, all right, man, whatever. But yeah, in American Horror Stories, they was talking about fucking the moon landing, and listen, they basically said everything, it was an act, and how it was staged, how they wanted to beat the Russians to get there, and instead of was it Neil Armstrong, when he said it's one big step for man, he was actually meant to say it's one big leap for man. It says in American Horror Stories, and the leap is in fucking obviously evolution, like, yeah, we're kind of got to another planet or whatever, but back in the 60s and whenever it happened, like, there's no way you could have got through the ozone layer with all the radiation and the shit, fucking the stuff they had, because the Russians were sending people out there, and a lot of people were dying in the trials and stuff, if you don't know. But yeah, it was kind of revealed, and they said like, yeah, it was all staged and shit. So I thought, oh yeah, that was fucking interesting, man. And yeah, like I was saying, there's a lot of agendas in subliminal messages in like music, shows, and fucking movies and shit, because they're just telling you their plan and shit, man, basically. And yeah, it's basically telling you their agendas, and it's basically universal law. So they have to tell you what is going on, what their plan is, and it's just universal law. So they can't just do something without, because everyone's got free will in this planet, so they can't do something without yeah, they can't do something without manipulating it to a certain degree. So if they put out agendas and people accept it, then it can manifest, should I say. It sounds so fucked up, but yeah, like if you're seeing something in a TV show and you think that's the normal, when it happens in reality, you just accept it as the normal. So they're basically programming you from what you see and what you hear, and basically use lot make it manifest, should I say. Like even I don't know if I can say this one, like last year. Oh fuck, I'm gonna say it anyway. Like last year with the test and stuff. They was basically saying, yeah, if you get tested, anybody who dies after getting tested, it goes down as um, a COVID death. And it's like, bruv, if you don't do a test and get hit by a bus, how the fuck does that go down as a sea death, should I say? And people just sit back and accept it, and it's like, dude, the guy got hit by a bus and shit. So that's just one example for last year, and people just accepting it and shit. Like, and there's other subliminal messages in posters and shit. Like, I was on the bus the other day. No, this was last year, and what did it say? This one was just so obvious. What did it say? It was something about it was like the darkness of Freemasons or something, and it was on the tube. So I'm looking at the tube. I got off the tube and I had to take a picture of it, and I was like, that is so, like, they put it so in your face that you just walk past it. Because I was looking at it and I was like, oh my gosh, like fucking, like they're basically saying, like, obviously people think it's a secret society and shit, and they're basically saying to people that they ain't, yeah. And yeah, not like everyone else was just walking past it and shit, and I was just like, oh yeah, like, yeah, it caught my eye, innit? So I was like, oh yeah, because I'm aware and shit. And yeah, all that the subliminal messages go into your fucking subconscious, and yeah, so you just basically accept it and just think it's the normal when it's not the normal, because they've just been programming you, man. And yeah, like, if a certain amount of people are all fed the same kind of subliminal messages and they get programmed that way, that group of people will make it manifest, should I say. So if you've got, like, I don't know, a whole big majority of people all thinking the same way, like all fear-based, should I say, you're basically projecting your inner fear externally, so your external reality becomes fear-based, should I say. And it's like, if you do like like a group meditation, if you do a group meditation like happened last year, when the energy, when you got so much energy on the, like, so, let's just use that, so many souls on the same energy. So say for instance the same kind of wavelength, yeah. You can make stuff happen in it. So if you're all just projecting peace and coming from a good place, that peace and stuff manifests externally. If you're coming from with, like, whatever you're feeling within gets projected externally. And I see it last year when we was meditating, when we was protesting, and yeah, there was all chaos and shit, and we done like a little meditation, and literally you come to, and literally everything was just peaceful afterwards, like within like 5 minutes. It was fucking crazy, man. Yeah, it's mad. And yeah, like within I would say more movies and shows, they're kind of basically they're projecting or trying to subliminally program people to basically manifest the future that they want, like, you know, control and fucking certain things and stuff. Like if you watch in certain films, let me use Demolition Man for example, like you know, when he's swearing and he gets like a little fine or whatever, and he's like, oh, he needs tissue to wipe his ass, he's swearing and shit. That's basically where we're at now with the censorship. You can't say certain things. So yeah, that's like films, they show you little bits and pieces of how they want their agenda to go, but yeah, it's yeah, that's more for the majority, because that's the masses. If you can control the masses, it's just about divide and conquer, man. So if you're easily programmed and follow the crowd, you're basically manifesting the reality they want, when you can manifest the reality you want to a certain degree, while still living in the 3D matrix. But like, yeah, that's collapsing anyway. And a lot of things, the subliminal messages and shit, a lot of things people see ain't real, man. Like, say, let me just use social media for an example. Like, that's got subliminal messaging in it as well. Like with the selfies, you know, when you see celebrities coming out on social media, full face of makeup, acting like they're living life like that every day. Listen, I can tell you for a fact they're not living life like that every day, man. It's yeah, it's impossible. You just end up breaking yourself down. And it's funny when you see, because when you see pictures of them, fucking when you got the paparazzi and that catch them off guard. I don't know where they're at the beach or going to the shop or something. They looking hella clapped and they're not looking like their Instagram photos and shit. So that's like subliminally programming. Yeah, you gotta present yourself to the world a certain way to be accepted or something. And a lot of like girls are going through like body image issues at the moment because of like fucking the whole social media. Yes, social media, don't get me wrong, it's it's good to a certain degree, but like if you're not strong minded and shit, it's just gonna end up breaking you down and shit, man. Because yeah, it's a part yeah, it's just about kind of being aware of what you're taking in, because your subconscious is so powerful. You're absorbing stuff and you don't even know you're absorbing it. Like last year with me, flicking through Instagram and all that, and it was like all fear-based that I'm starting to realize now. Like basically when you're sharing stuff about the jab and blah blah blah, it's basically just pushing their agenda, innit? So I was like, raw. That's why I was off social media or Instagram and Facebook and shit for like 6 months and shit, because I was like, dude, like, I don't even use my platforms for that, like pushing their agenda, because like, yeah. So it's just basically trying to stop feeding their agenda. You can use the shit, but just not, just be more conscious of what you're absorbing, man. Because yeah, like I was saying, the subconscious is so powerful, and if you're not careful, man, you'll just be easily programmed, man. Like I was saying with the music and stuff, like music is frequency. So if you're listening to a certain frequency, you're gonna start becoming that, and it's like programming. Like I was saying, like rap music, if you keep listening to like drill music and stuff, you're gonna start acting that out in your reality and shit anyway, man. But yeah, that was just another little video about subliminal messages, how they're everywhere anyway, man. But yeah, I'm gonna write up two more videos soon, because I've got yeah, two come to light and that need to be shared anyway. But yeah, peace, love and light, tribe, and I hope everyone's taking care of themselves during this crazy time, man. The shift is a bit wild and the energy out here is just crazy, man. But peace, love and light, and I'll hit you guys up real soon anyway.